Hello and welcome everybody to today's video. As you may be able to tell by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be taking a look and reviewing the Adventure Force Nexus Pro. Let's get on in. Now, one thing that I would like to mention shortly before we begin the review proper is that, first of all, this is in the Tactical Strike line of the Adventure Force line that is sold in Walmart. In the Tactical Strike line is things like the Liberator. So I have no idea exactly why they're calling this the Pro line when this is not called Pro at any point.
Now, in this instance, when I say they, I mean the Nerf community.
None of the other blasters that are like it are called Pro either. They are called Adventure Force Tactical Strike. As well as the majority of this video, to a very large extent, was recorded beforehand, when it was either really cold and early in the year, or super hot and mid-year. Anyways, let's get into it. So the Nexus Pro is a relatively simple blaster to understand. Of course, this blaster doesn't originally come out of the box like this. It comes right out of the box looking like this. It has a stock that works off of a buffer tube, which, by the way, is not similar in geometry in many ways to civilian spec or military spec buffer tube. So if you wanted to throw on one of those stocks, you probably can't. It also comes with sights. In this particular case, it comes with a single front post with a ladder leaf style tangent rear sight, which, by the way, one thing that a lot of people never mention in most of their reviews, if any at all, is that there is an unjamming button up at the top here. In addition to that, of course, there is also a pistol grip up at the front. There is also a muzzle brake, which is a 4-port style muzzle brake, more or less like the A2 style birdcage, or maybe even A1. And this is the pistol grip that comes with the blaster, the main pistol grip, which is large, it's beefy, and it's not really out of place. The blaster also comes, of course, with a single full-length magazine and a single half-length magazine and magazine adapter. Now, of course, the blaster also comes with 3 Picatinny rails in total. The 2 rails that are up at the top are at slightly different elevations from one another, which allows for slightly more arced shots, if you care about that. And of course, the front pistol grip also provides a nice and comfortable place to hold to prime the blaster, which, by the way, this blaster unfortunately does not come with a depriming mechanism stock. It also does not come with any Picatinny rail on the sides or any sling mounts. I have a set of backup Magpul sights. I have a center point 4x32 hunting optic. I have a Harris style bipod. I have added my own QD sling mount. I have added a Magpul Picatinny rail here. And I have also added a Spike mil-spec laser pointer. This is mil-spec by the standards of the 90s. Now, this blaster ordinarily is going to be pump action, in that where this bipod is located is right on the Picatinny rail that links it to the priming action of the blaster here. Internally, it is very similar to a retaliator, as I will show on screen. So you only get 12 full-length and 12 half-length darts, which is rather unfortunate, especially given the fact that these darts are only obtainable with the Nexus Pro. You cannot get them anywhere else, as far as I can tell. Now, of course, the other thing that you're going to be worried about when it comes to your Nexus is magazine compatibility, because the blaster only comes with 2 magazines. The full-length magazine and the half-length magazine, which the half-length mag isn't too terribly different from the full-length one. However, there is much hope for you, because this is an N-Strike compatible magazine well. So, if you have N-Strike magazines lying around, most of them will actually fit in there. Some of the exceptions including the 10-round banana mag, as well as the 18-round stick mag. However, if you wanted to throw in a drum, you could absolutely do that. In fact, I will do so right now. As you can see here, 35 round drum mag inside of a Nexus Pro. And of course, if you wanted to, it also takes Busby mags, with the notable exception being the 20 round Busby mag. It's a little bit more rattly, of course, than the N-Strike option. However, you get what you pay for. It's a Busby mag. What do you really expect?
Post-production Brizzy here, and I found out that apparently 50 round drum mags from the Titan actually don't work in this. Enough stalling, let's go see this blaster out on the range.
Alright, so here we are out here with the Nexus Pro. I have my Magpul sights on here, and we're going to be doing some shooting with the half-length darts that are included with the blaster, with its included half-length magazine and magazine adapter. We're going to be doing 3 rounds for each of the different sight arrangements on here. I'm going to see if I can strike the target downrange, which is my fridge, if you can see that. So first we're going to start with the large aperture. Alright, now let's switch over to the smaller notch up at the top. Alright, now we're going to switch over to the long range aperture, which is very small. Alright, now we're going to switch to the long range notch that is up at the top. Alright, and we're all empty. And just for the lulz, I'm going to see if I can actually hit anything with a magnified optic. I'm only going to load up 6 rounds though. Alright, so here I am out here with my 4x32 tower center point optic. This is a legitimate hunting optic, and I'm going to be firing at my fridge once again, just to see if I can actually hit anything with this scope mounted. 6 rounds only. Empty. Alrighty, so we're out here on the range. The target is 60 feet away. It's that wooden plank down there. And I'm going to see how accurate this blaster is from this far away. So, going in 3, 2, 1. That time I saw it in the scope. Saw that one too. Have no idea if that one hit. Alright, and we're empty. Of course, I'm in my full tactical gear, even wearing my Red Urban BDU. Alright, so dart zone max starts. 60 feet away target. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Definite miss.
That sounded like a hit. That did not. Ah, that was the box. Hit. Alright, and we're empty. Alrighty, now that we have a baseline of accuracy for this blaster, we have fired the Adventure Force Tactical Strike darts and the Dart Zone Max darts. Now we are firing Nerf Elite darts. I can now see the target. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Miss. Miss. Have no idea where that one went. Alright, I'm pretty sure that was a hit. You got a squid. There we go. Two squibs in a row. Definite miss. And massive miss. No surprise though, given that these are elite darts. Alrighty, well, now we have the Adventure Force long distance darts firing out of the Nexus Pro from a 12-round stick magazine. This would be significantly more clear through the scope if there was no sun out right now, or if I had a sunshade on the scope. Alright, I can see the target. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Squib. There we go, and that went off into space. Miss. Miss. Wild miss. 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 Uh-oh. Yep. Got another squid. Alright. Wild miss. Alright, we are now empty. Alrighty, so next up on the docket, Adventure Force waffle head darts. Firing in 3, 2, 1. And we're out. Next up, Nerf Accu-Strike darts. Nilla, move. Move. Nilla. We got some off-brand little Valentine wafflehead darts. Squish. Very poor performance. And we're empty. Alrighty, so finally for feeding normal darts, here is the first of this last batch. The old school streamlined darts. Alrighty, and 3, 2, 1. What the hell? Alright, and we're empty. Next up, Air Warriors Precise Pro Darts. I've fired these before off camera, and I do not have much as far as hopes for these. And already we're encountering an issue. Yep, the dart did not chamber correctly. That was way off base. Alright, that time it chambered. We're empty. Now, for the rarest darts on this list of normal darts, we have the darts that the Nexus Pro came with. The full-length Adventure Force Tactical Strike darts. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Seemed like a high right. Alrighty, and we are officially out of the standard ammunition. Alrighty, so now we have moved on from the standard ammunition types, and we're moving to something a little bit less standard. Starting this off with the Demolisher Rocket. Unfortunately, it and the Big Bad Bow Arrow, the Nerf 9-inch arrow, I only have one of these. So, we're only going to do one shot. Very poor performance. Not very good range. Now for the 9-inch arrow. Also, very poor performance. However, it did go significantly further. So, here are a pair of Ultra Darts. Loading them in like you would a muzzle loader. Firing in 3, 2, 1. That went very low, straight into the ground, but it went a whole lot further. Firing in 3, 2, 1. That one seemed significantly more accurate. And while I only have one of these to spare, it will sure make for a nice result. This is a vintage mega mega dart. I am dumb. Firing in 3, 2, 1. That whistled very nicely. Dart tag dart. Firing in 3, 2, 1. That fishtailed like crazy. Whistler dart. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Very loud whistle indeed. Mega dart in 3, 2, 1. Also whistled. Rival round loaded. Firing in 3, 2, 1. While not very great as far as range goes, that's still a lot further than I expected it to be. Though this is not standard in any way, shape, or form, here is the Ultimate Ratio dart. It does fit onto the standard muzzle attachment, which I find rather strange. Ultimate Ratio dart in 3, 2, 1, fire! Not very good range in the slightest. In fact, the camera on the other side didn't even pick it up. Let's try that again to see if it'll pick it up this time. Ultimate Ratio dart, firing in 3, 2, 1. That time it picked it up. Now, kicking off this list of super weird ammo types is my own homemade quarter-length darts. These are, as you might be able to already tell just by looking at them in the magazine, not wanting to feed properly. Alrighty, so first round chambered successfully. Now let's fire at the wooden board. Quarter length dart in 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, well that absolutely did come out and it did hit something, just not what I was aiming at. Pretty interesting though that it was, that it fired and got that far. That is really interesting for me. Alright, so successfully loaded another dart. Still definitely hit something, just not what I was aiming at. Alright. Oh. Screw it. Yeah, let's go for a duplex load. One of them hit the target. Coolio! Alrighty, so last but not least on this list, we have my custom-made Parabellum darts. What exactly is so special? Well, the foam is cut down to about 19 millimeters in overall length, just the same as the case of a 9x19. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Have no idea where that one went. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And we are empty. That is all for the firing segment. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. So here we are out here on the range. We're going to be doing some competition style shooting. And of course I got the Gucci Gamer Nexus Pro. We're going to be feeding it with Dart Zone Max darts. And as the secondary for this, we're going to be using a Sweet Revenge. We're going to start with this on safe and unprimed. On your go.
Ready, set, go.
loading to show clear. 1 round left. We're clear.
Alright, so that was the end of the shooting segment of the video, and now we move on to further discussion. So one thing of note that I took note of after the firing segment is that the buffer tube at this point has actually gotten warped enough to the point where it actually has some stress marks at the very end, where the buffer tube meets the rear end of the receiver. Aside from that, of course, the Nexus Pro actually proved to be fairly good in the shooting segment. It was very accurate. Though, one thing of note is that there were actually 2 shooting segments, one of which unfortunately didn't get recorded for the competition shooting. And in that, I completely ran out of ammo before I had the opportunity to hit the final target. And for the second one, as you saw, with the Dart Zone Max Stars, which everybody says is the best on the market currently that you can buy in stores, they were going wildly off to the right, and when I tried to pull myself over to the right, they would go up. So I had to not aim and just dart track to see and pray that the darts would actually land on the target. Now, of course, aside from that, as you saw, even with the bipod, I was still able to prime the blaster just fine without any issue whatsoever. So for anybody who continues to ask about how do you prime this blaster with the bipod attached, just watch this video. Aside from that, of course, my criticisms still stand when it comes to the Nexus Pro. The pistol grip that I have on here is not the original one. It is an aftermarket AKM grip, which I have modified the blaster to be able to accept. And it makes this gripping onto this very sketchy. The only way that that would be remediated is if I were to have a 3D printed grip on this, which I personally do not like the feel of them. I prefer to be able to have the option to put on any firearms grips that I have onto this blaster because they are far more comfortable in my opinion. And of course, with the Picatinny rail, you can also put whatever you want, such as, for example, an EOTech or a hunting optic. With the Picatinny rail that is underneath the foregrip here, you could put on completely different foregrips if you wanted to, or you could be like me and put on a Harris bipod. Now, people on the internet also tell you all the time that you can replace the stock on this with an airsoft stock when, I'm not sure if they know this, but the majority, if not all, airsoft stocks are mil-spec. So this has to be a mil-spec buffer tube, but nobody can tell me that it's a mil-spec buffer tube. And of course, when it comes to rear sling mounts, if you wanted to put on, say for example, the AR-15 sling mounts that go into the buffer tubes that you see every now and again, you can't, because this cannot be unthreaded, nor does it have the relief cut at the rear here for that. And finally, when it comes to the pistol grip, if you want to change it out for a completely different grip, like say for example, one of the 2 different AKM style grips that I have here, or hell, maybe you found, like me, some revolver grips, which are clamshell just like these stock grips. Well, you're shit out of luck. You're going to need to get yourself a 3D printed grip, because fuck you. Regardless though, I will also give props in the fact that this blaster also comes with 2 replacement O-rings, one on either side of the stock. That is pretty cool. However, as you can see, that door there, that hole to assess jams and malfunctions, is pretty much completely useless. Personally, I have found in my experience that trying to get your finger up through the hole here in the magwell to clear out a jam or malfunction induces a worse malfunction. So, if you want to truly and fully assess the malfunction, then you are going to do the pro game remove of looking down the barrel, which is a very precarious thing to do if you are not wearing eye protection. Regardless, never point the muzzle end of anything at yourself. Of course, like I said before, this thing does not come with an unpriming button, an unpriming override. This also comes with a crossbolt safety, like I said before, which is difficult to use if you are if you want to go for something that is super easy to manipulate. In this particular case, right now I have it on safe. Sorry, I have it on fire. If I want to put it into safe, I have to either completely break my grip to put it into safe, or I have to use my offhand to put it into safe. Same thing applies with left-handers. Right now I have it in safe. If I want to put it in fire, I have to completely break my grip. Or if I want to put it into fire without breaking my grip, I have to use my offhand. But I will give them props, once again. But this time, when it comes to the sights, most people think that these sights are complete garbage. And under some circumstances, I would agree. I would much prefer to have something like an EOTech Magpul iron sights or my center point. But for making arced shots with large, heavy projectiles, or just wanting to make long shots regardless, these ladder leaf style sights make it significantly easier. And of course, this stock is unfortunately one that also suffers from quality control issues. Really quickly here, I have it in the fully extended position. Now watch. Not that much force was required to slam it shut. And of course, not that much force is required to pull it out either. And also, this magazine adapter that I have is not the one that originally came with this blaster. The one that originally came with this blaster was extremely tight. Much more so to the point where it made it impossible to actually get it in and get magazines in cleanly and smoothly. This is not the case with this one that I have because I bought it secondhand. And one little thing that I will note is that the position of the magazine, right here, really cool. Because that allows me to have the magazine in a safe position, so that way there is no possible way of inadvertently chambering around at any point in time. It's only when it is that far in that it can actually get into position to feed, which is a good thing in my opinion. That is a fantastic thing to do. It is a safety thing. I'm not sure how many people in this hobby really care about safety.
Aside from that as well, the centerfire scope actually proved to be a help in the instance of the competition shooting. But yeah, my criticisms of the Nexus Pro still stands. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye. So quick notes as a post-credit scene. Just to put this into perspective, I have nothing against the Nexus Pro. I just don't really like it all that much. And personally, I am tired of seeing and hearing pretty much everybody claim the Nexus Pro to be the best possible blaster that you can get for $50. It's not. Don't claim it to be. The reason why is because what is best for someone isn't best for another person. It's all subjective. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys stuck around for this post-credit scene. And thank you to my 401 subscribers on the main channel now. And my, I believe, 21 for the second channel. Love you all so much, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.